Hello friends, welcome to Jiku Diaries for the preview of the second semi-final of this ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024 between defending champions England and champions of the inaugural edition India, to be played in Guyana later tonight an 8 p.m. IST start. Mind you, it is a day game in Guyana, as have been all the matches of India, and as will be the final on Saturday, June 29. There have been some unhappy Englishmen slamming the scheduling of the matches to favor India, and that it has been fixed beforehand, the India semi-final in Guyana, irrespective of whether India finished first or second in Group 1 at the end of the Super 8 stage. It was already fixed that the first semi-final would be held in Tarouba in Trinidad and the second in Guyana. The first semi-final being a night game in local Trinidad, which is a 6 a.m. start IST, and the second semi-final an 8 p.m. IST start, which is a morning start local time. It suits the Indian viewers to keep an 8 p.m. IST match, as it generates maximum revenue and than would a 6 a.m. IST start. And yes, Indian viewers do matter a lot for India matches and for the ICC. Perhaps, like they did in the previous World Cups, the two semi-finals could have been kept at the same time, a day apart, an 8 p.m. start IST, rather than have the first semi-final, which is a night time local time, and the second semi-final being a morning start local time. I remember very well the 2022 World Cup in Australia, when the semi-finals were kept at the same time, a day apart. Pakistan and New Zealand played their semi-final in Sydney on November 11, 2022, and India faced England in Adelaide in the second semi-final the next day, both matches starting at the same time in the evening. That allowed me to cover both the semi-finals, hopping over from Sydney to Adelaide on the morning of the India-England semi-final match to go directly to the stadium from the airport well in time for the match. Anyway, India would look to avenge their 10-wicket thrashing at the hands of England in that 2022 semi-final. It was the last time that the two teams met in an T20 international match. The personnel are more or less the same. 7 of the Indians who played in that semi-final are very much the core members of this Indian team in this World Cup. Indian bowlers did not come good at all in that match, as their openers Hales and Buttler went hammer and tongs to chase the 169 target that India set for them, and they made the target in only 16 overs. This time though, India are on a roll, winning all the matches that they have played in, and convincingly at that. Be it Ireland, Pakistan or USA in the first round, in low scoring matches in New York, or Afghanistan, Bangladesh or Australia in high scoring ones in the West Indies. India have come on top in each of them. Their bowlers, led by Jasprit, Bumrah and Arshdeep Singh, have been outstanding, as also the spinners, particularly left-arm wrist spinner Kuldeep Yadav, ever since he got into the playing 11 from the Super 8 stage. India will hope that Virat Kohli comes really good after a below par World Cup so far, with 4 single-digit scores, including 2 zeros and a high of 37 against Bangladesh. And if Rohit Sharma continues the way he demolished Australia with a magnificent 92 in quick time, India will be invincible. And yes, Rohit Sharma's approach in this World Cup has been remarkable, looking to dominate the opposition attack from the word go and not letting them settle down. That worked very well against Australia. The manner in which India have played in this World Cup, they look hot favourites to lift the cup. But then, this has been said about the Indian team in every World Cup and in all formats. The reality is that they have failed to cross the hurdle when it matters most, often choking, be it in the semi-final of the 2022 T20 World Cup, like I mentioned in Adelaide, or last year's Cricket World Cup final against Australia in Ahmedabad. England fans also had a problem with their team playing in Guyana for the first time in 14 years. The last time they played was their washout match against Ireland in the 2010 T20 World Cup. No play was possible after 3.3 overs into Ireland's innings after England made 120 for 8. They also had issues with having to wait for a full day after qualifying for the semi-final to know if they're playing in Trinidad or Guyana. But England, being a thorough professional team, will do well to put aside these issues and play like the defending champions. They had to sneak into the Super 8, waiting till the last Group B match in the first round, but then they had done all that they had to do from their side, and Australia beating Scotland helped them to qualify for Super 8. And in the Super 8, they had to win against USA after winning one and losing one in their first two Super 8 matches. They not only won against USA but won by 10 wickets. That also boosted their net run rate, should it come to that. There is enough firepower in the England batting right from the top, with openers Phil Salt and Josh Buttler capable of giving an explosive start, and the batsmen to follow like Jonny Bairstow, Harry Brook, Liam Livingstone and Moeen Ali, all capable of carrying in the same vein. Their bowling, with pacer Jofra Archer and leg spinner Adil Rashid at the helm, make for a well-rounded unit with variety in their bowling armoury. And they would be tempted to play left-arm pacer Reece Topley, especially keeping in mind India captain Rohit Sharma's weakness against left-armers, though the captain negated that against Mitchell Starc of Australia before eventually falling to the tall left-arm pacer in the last match that India played. Guyana has hosted 5 matches so far in this World Cup, and it has seen all kinds of scores, high in the range of 170 and 180, as well as low scores, like the lowest ever score in ICC Men's T20 World Cup history has come in Guyana in this edition, 39 by Uganda against West Indies. The fast bowlers have taken 40 wickets in all in this venue, while the spinners have taken 27. So there is purchase for good bowling, both pace and spin. Afghanistan left-arm pacer Fazal Haq Farooqi took the best bowling figures in this World Cup, 5 for 9, while left-arm spinner Akil Hussain of West Indies too took a 5-wicket haul, his 5 for 11 coming against Uganda at this venue. Whatever be the surface, India have the bowlers to do it for them. And yes, they have the ever-smiling, ever-willing Jasprit Bumrah, who seems to send out the message, why fear when I am here? Today is the best chance for India to put it across England and enter the final. It's now or never, and an ideal time for Rohit Sharma's bowlers to make amends for the 2022 poor show. There is a bit of concern about weather for India versus England semi-final match in Guyana, with rain expected on Thursday afternoon local time. The weather forecast says expect showers tomorrow afternoon, and according to reports coming from Guyana on Wednesday evening IST, it had rained for 12 hours continuously. But then the positive side of it is that the drainage system in Guyana's Providence Stadium is supposedly good, that we could still have a match, and hopefully we have a full match on hand. The India versus England semi-final does not have a reserve day, as it was pre-scheduled long ago that the semi-final in Guyana would not have a reserve day. However, as per the playing conditions, a total of 250 minutes of extra time are allotted to complete a match, and that will remain as it is. Since the second semi-final, like I mentioned, does not have a reserve day, the entire 250 minutes will be available on the scheduled day. And there has been no official word from the ICC on this, as it was made public a few months ago about the playing conditions that Guyana's semi-final will not have a reserve day. In the event of a total washout, the team that is ranked higher will advance to the final, and it is good news for Indian supporters, as India will advance to the final as they finished on top of Group 1. And this is only in the case of a no result. And no result is obtained in the semi-final and final if a minimum of 10 overs per side is not completed, not 5 overs a side as has been the case in the previous rounds or in the bilateral matches. So for a result to be achieved in the semi-finals and the final, each team has to have had the opportunity to bat a minimum of 10 overs instead of a minimum of 5 a side. Thanks for watching. Until tomorrow with the review of India versus England semi-final. Take care, stay safe, bye-bye.